Hey guys, the upcoming shot here on this bird, I actually did not put the best shot in the world on this bird, and I think the second time I've attempted a headshot on a bird, and the first time it went well, and this time it didn't go quite as well as I wanted it to. So what you guys are about to watch is what happens. It's hunting. Things happen, and that's why we use rage broadheads too. You know, things do happen. Everybody's going to put a poor shot on an animal once in a while. It seems to happen once in a great while when you hate for it too, but it does happen, and on this upcoming hunt here, it's a little bit of a good display at what a rage broadhead can do, even when a hunter, myself, makes a poor shot on an animal. And I don't feel it was even a poor shot. The bird actually, if you will play it in slow motion, you'll see the nocturnal coming into the frame of the screen, and you can actually see the bird's neck start to come out of strut. And what happens with that is when the bird's strutting, their neck is scrunched down, and that blade went through and it cut the side of some of his red, I don't even know what it's called, underneath of his neck, and then across the back, down his head. I mean, it really just put a huge gash. It's because when a turkey's scrunched down strutting, that skin is scrunched. So that, you know, that big cut that a rage always does, you stretch the neck out and it turns into an 8 or 10 inch cut on this bird. And I think I did hit some arteries, and I do believe the bird was going to die. But I mean, from immediately there was blood sprayed all over the ground right where the first arrow hit him. I mean, there was definitely artery there because it was spraying out of this bird. So the broadhead did do a good job. I ended up taking a second shot on the bird, and he ended up kind of circling around, and he fell down like I thought he was going to be done for. And I jumped out of the tent to go run after him just because I know I've had birds get away before, or they try and get away or jump up to take off. And so I ended up, getting on the horse and went and chased this bird down and catching up to him. And he wasn't going to go too much further. Quick. Well guys, opening morning, turkey season, first season in Michigan. My brother and I, Nate, we come out this morning, got in on these birds. We had birds gobbling every direction around us this morning, and finally, after probably a half hour, 45 minutes or so, we had a couple birds work across and ended up coming up the ridge here and walked into about 15 yards probably, tried shooting him in the head and caught him on the back of the head. He's laid open, his whole back of his head's cut about 8 inches long, but didn't knock him right down, got a second arrow in him and chased him down and got a third. Not a very good record, but we got a dead bird and a beautiful bird, and today's my dad's birthday. I lost my dad a couple years ago, and today we got a bird for him. My brother and I did. So happy to be out here and do it with him. I wouldn't rather do it with anybody else. So good bird.